Flosstube, welcome to my channel. I'm Siske Stitches, if you don't know that yet. If you are new here, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, also welcome. Today is the 2nd of February 2026 and I'm here today with Flosstube number 69 already. Time flies. The first month of this year is already flown away. Where? How? I will start with my stitching update, of course. I worked on 13 whips and I had 5060 stitches done. It's still not the goal that I'm aiming for. I still want to have my 7000 stitches weekly and it doesn't happen. I don't know how other people do it. I'm not the alien. Maybe it's like that, like Yogi would say. But I saw people saying they did 45,000 stitches in 1 month. How is that even possible? I don't know. I know, now you will tell me you don't have to look to other people. Watch yourself. I know, but we all want a lot of progress. So then I'm thinking, how can they do it and we not? What am I doing wrong? So that said, I still hope for more stitches and to finish my weekly goal of 7000 stitches. I still hope for that, but yeah, it is what it is. Life happens, as I said. And speaking of life, what happened last week? I filmed last Monday. Yeah, last Monday. So my daughter was ill. I had 2 doctor appointments at one day. One for her, one for my youngest son. He had a cough, but he got a nose spray and then it was done because it came from his nose. So he's fine. My daughter is also back to school, but she has to make some tests she had missed, and now it's difficult to plan those tests. And it's almost the holiday period, so her our parent-teacher meeting is cancelled. Her report, so with her numbers of the period, is also cancelled. So we don't know when she will get her points and her numbers and stuff. And yeah, she's not happy with that either, but it is what it is. If she doesn't make tests, she can't have the points. So yeah, that's it. That was a part of the life. So she was at home until Wednesday. Yeah. Thursday she went back to school. She did her other tests as scheduled. For me, it's still driving a lot. My husband is working in another city in the afternoon, so I have to drive and pick him up. So I'm more driving on my day than stitching and doing other stuff. So yeah, it's difficult as mom of 3 children. If you don't know that, I have 3 children, 2 sons and 1 daughter. My oldest son is 13 years old, almost 14 in March. My daughter is 12 from January and my youngest son is 7 years old. Yeah, he will be 8 in April. So yeah, it's busy. Also, yeah, education. I have to study with them for tests. I help with homework, so it's all mom stuff. And their behavior also. Friday was it? Yeah, Friday I went to school to pick my youngest children up, and there is. I told it before I start into my stitching stuff. I told here before he has not a good relationship with his teacher. my youngest one. And she's saying he's always talking, he cannot be quiet when I'm teaching, when I ask other children something, he answers and that stuff. So I talked about that with him before, and then it was like a bit better. The relationship was a bit approved, not approved, it was a bit positively evolved. But now, Friday I went to school. Thursday I had found out he was playing games, PlayStation games that wasn't for his age. And apparently he was talking about that at school with a friend of his classmate. And his mother sent me messages as I don't know if he can come to play and if he can be here without screens. And I was like, what? Without screens? I know he watched television and on his iPad scrolling and that stuff. Yes, I know that, but not an hour or something without screen. So we got the chat and talking and so on, and then I found out he was playing games that wasn't for his age. He was talking about that to his classmate, and he wanted to have a play date, but to play PlayStation and watch TV. And I was like, what? To me, he told me I want to go to watch together a movie because we don't have the subscription anymore of Disney Plus. I said okay, but now I know the real reason, and I was like, not going to happen. So he was also punished because he played the games he knew he wasn't allowed. So yeah, and he was punished, and then Friday he was like acting all the stuff at school, and he broke a pencil of not really a classmate, but his one we are reading together on Tuesdays. So that student. And I was like, now he's punished. He acts out of school. Yeah. So today and this weekend he made a card to apologize for that pencil, because I was like, it's not your pencil, and yeah, now you can say it was only a pencil, but it's the meaning behind it that frustrates me. So yeah, he had to say sorry and apologize and all the stuff. So it doesn't matter, it's only a pencil. For me, it is a statement. So yeah, I could say I could have less stress, but yeah. So the children, and then my husband worked all week. Yep. So busy. And I also had like a bit of flu, with headaches and fever and all this stuff. So yeah, it was a really life update. So then the whips. Before we start, I brought temperature stitching back. If you're new, you don't know what it is. I am the original temperature stitcher. What do I mean with that? Last year, I think in August, I started with temperature stitching according to each degree of the temperature. So I made a list of 42 whips then, and yeah, which degree came up, that was the whip I worked on for 100 stitches. And then Jen, the caffeinated crafter, updated that because she was like, I'm not going to assign like 100 whips or whatever. So then the ending digit came in. So you have 10 whips and from 0 to 9, and you link a whip to each number, and then you take the ending digit of the max temperature or the lowest temperature you can choose of that, or the actual temperature, whatever you pick, and then you stitch 100 stitches. I have also seen another version of that was a monogamous version, that people don't link whips but numbers. So let's say number 5 is 250 stitches. So if I have 15 degrees today, I have ending in a 5, and then I stitch 250 stitches on my monogamously whip. That's what it is. So I brought the 10 numbers 0 to 9 and 10 whips into action again. Why? Because I'm only stitching on my full coverages and I want to have work done on my kids. And I know 100 stitches doesn't sound a lot, but it adds up in the end. So that's the reason why. I have 3 new stars this week, and they were all for temperature stitching. So I will start with that first. The first one is even a new start. It is a kit for Magic Needle, and it's called Snowy Owl. And this reminds me of the owl of Harry Potter. So yeah, it's still magical. This is with this has 37 colors, skill level 3 stars, I would say, and it's stitched with gamma floss. Normally it had 16 count white Ada, yeah, but I swapped it out to a 32 count Murano Ivory fabric to stitch it 2/2, and it's Mind Splash because it has for me the snowing effect, and I like that because it's a snowy owl, so he needs to have snow, isn't it? So this looks like snow to me. So this was for 2 days, so I did 200 stitches, and I started in his head in the middle. I will have more fabric as spare, so I could choose a bit where I would start. I know I have enough fabric. So yeah, and it's also, I was also thinking white on white, that's not a pleasure to stitch. So with this, it helps. And you can see the colors, of course. So I'm happy with that. And I have stats because it's, I have the Cross Stitch Saga file that I mailed them for. I put the mail address for Magic Needle in my previous Flosstube video because they only send you the Cross Stitch Saga file if you mail them. So it's there if you're looking for that. And I did, like I said, 200 stitches out of 19,481 stitches, and I have 1.02%. So with 200 stitches I already have 1%, so that's already a milestone. Yeah. The next one I started, a Snowy Owl was number 6. This is for number 8. Not all the numbers came up, of course. I had 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 and 9 coming up. This is Blooming Heart. This is number 8. Also for Magic Needle. Stitched on 16 count grey Ada. I used the fabric from this kit. And also Gamma Floss, 26 colors and 3 skill level. Yesterday was the anniversary of the passing of my mother-in-law. It was 5 years already. And I said to my husband, I think a month ago, I wanted to stitch this one for her. So yesterday it was like it had to be. It was number 8. So it popped up on her date. So yeah, it was like it has to be like that. So I did start with 200 stitches because for the group Whip Warriors we need to have at least 200 stitches to call it a start. If you do 50 stitches, it's not a whip yet. So I did, instead of 100 stitches yesterday, 200 stitches on this one. And I still think it's crooked in here, in my frame. Oh, it's cut weird. I don't know. So I started on the green leaf here, that green part. Yeah, and I think today is again this one, so it will get another 100 stitches. I did all my temperature stitching, so that's really good. That it worked well this week. Normally the first week is always good, but keep going is a challenge. So we will see what happens next. But to be a variation of my focus whips, it helps. So yeah, we will see. The next one is another new start. So apparently we have the 3 new starts on top of this pile. This is the dyed Stars Tomorrow from Boaty Threads. I call him Dickie 2.0. This is for number 7. No, not 7. Number 4. This is for number 4. I stitched this one 2 years ago for the teacher of my oldest son. It's the same teacher where my daughter now is having in her classroom. So my daughter is watching Dickie each day in her classroom, and she was asking, when will you stitch the second one to get it on her wall at home? And they have a hamster in the classroom. Not in the classroom, but in his cage in the classroom. So this is stitched on 14 count Zweigart Ada speckled background, and not many colors. It's beautiful when it's stitched. So it was a new start, and I did 200 stitches because it was a new start, and I started with a part of his fingers. Here, his fingers, and it is the start of the cookie again. Luckily, I have this one in Pattern Keeper as I scanned the chart. But in Pattern Keeper, he also counts the empty boxes. So I do know it was around 10,000 stitches in the end to fully finish it with the previous one. But I don't have really stitch counts now for this, statistics of this one. So I'm just saying 200 stitches done. Then we had another day. It was on Monday. Was 3 degrees max temperature. I used the max temperatures. And that was Unity of Souls. Also Magic Needle. See, there's a theme. When I found out they gave the Cross Stitch Saga files, I was like, oh, they have beautiful kits. I need to start them all. I have way more, that said, but I have a couple starts I really wanted to start first. This is stitched on 16 count gray, pewter gray Ada with 25 colors, and it has, I think, 19 blends too. So this was already started. You have seen all my new starts for this week. So now I can start showing you my previous photos. So here was, I started on top, the middle of the top. And I did 100 stitches, like I said. For me, it's 100 stitches just to keep working on them. And I did them here. So it took some time because first I had to mark off in Cross Stitch Saga what I already did. Because this first part I did on a paper chart, and I counted myself with, how it's called? not a crochet tracker, a thing that you can, I showed that before. It's a counter for crochet stuff and that stuff. So this is mostly her hair and yeah, white stitching, as you can see. So this is now at 520 stitches out of 32,065 and it has 1.62% completed. So I'm very happy with this progress. Yep, this is very fun to do. Yeah, I need that one, I lost it. So that was that. Then I'm going all over the place. It's not in the order they came in temperatures, but it's how they are here lying on my table. Next is Mr. Pippin. It's a companion piece for Miss Pippa. Miss Pippa is hanging on my wall. Mr. Pippin. I will show you the PDF. Here. Of the mock-up is even better. This is Mr. Pippin as mock-up. The artwork is from Sheena Pike. It's charted by Charting Creations. It's 160 by 270 stitches with 78 colors, but it's called Mini Reindeer Cutie Snowman. I call him Mr. Pippin. Allee. Chucky. Yeah, there is a stop on the door, so every time it opens, it closes automatically. So for the cats who are light-weighted, they cannot open the door. So I am the door opener and closer every day. That's it. So, Mr. Pippin. I started this in December last year. And this is stitched on 18 count. What's it called? Not marmot. Marbled? Do we have to still the sticker? This is where I started it. Just in the antler. Now I'm thinking of the fabric. Vintage. No, it's not here. It's a vintage marbled, I think. I don't remember. It's not exactly the same as Miss Pippa had, but it is look-alike. The one from Miss Pippa came from Lakeside Needlecraft, and this was one I found in Belgium, so it's not the same one. So I stitched my 100 stitches here. So the second green dot in his right antler. Yeah. And why would antlers have green dots? I don't know. Still not know. But it is what it is. It really has green dots. Ah yeah. So I did this dot and I went to this one. Allee, Belle. See? The door opener. And then Saturday I had the one for Dotje, the Dimensions kit. That is her remembrance piece. The one that I searched a whole day for a chart. This is the Floral Crown Cat from Dimensions. stitched normally on 16 count white Eda. Again, I swapped the fabric because it was white on white a lot. And I used 32 count Murano Even Weave Splash, Mint Splash, yeah. And the design is from Catherine White Lord. So she needed 100 stitches. Oh, I forgot the numbers from Mr. Pippin. Mr. Pippin got 310 stitches now out of 25,571, and he is at 1.21%. Yeah, and Dotje was paper, so here is where I started in the bird on her head. And I added 100 stitches, like I said. Mostly here in the body of the bird. So it's really get the shape of a bird now. This is stitch 2 over 2 mostly. I didn't have any half stitches yet, so just like how it's charted. Skitty, she's scratching the sofa. Now, so that was all temperature whips. Now we go to the, how would you say, the second batch. Some are focus whips, others I would call secondary focus whips. And I tried to have a new rotation. It worked half. It worked a bit. Not still what I still fully want, but we will see. So the first one up is Animal Kingdom. Supersized. Going to my PDF. This is it. Supersized, supersized max color, amazing Animal Kingdom. Artwork from Amy Stewart. Charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. It's 999 by 765 stitches with 237 colors. And I'm still working on my first shelf. More exactly, where is it? Here, where the koala is. So I'm now in this part. And I keep, this is the biggest zoom I can make. So here, this part I'm stitching. I hoped for 1,500 stitches. I didn't meet that. I didn't meet that goal. I started here with 165,760 stitches. And I added 720 stitches. This is stitched on 25 count even weave 1/1 full cross with twirl embroidery floss. So yeah, I worked here. So I finished this row of blocks and then I started again there. So now I am at 166,480 stitches out of 764,235 and I'm at 21.78% completed. So it's like this part is going very, very slowly. I don't know why. Is it because of the palm trees, the green? I don't know. My husband said to me, you are already stitching 2 years, most of the 2 years now. The first year after it came out of the closet, I did like around 33,000 stitches on it. The second year I did 66,000 stitches, so the double on it. And last year I did like around 60,000 stitches on this one. So he's thinking I'm getting tired of it. He can be right. It's also a lot of confetti, as you can see on my parked threads. I don't know. It takes a long time to stitch this one. It's not easy. I don't know what it is. Why do I have the issues to keep going on this one? Yeah. I do like the project still, so it's not that. I don't know what it is. Yeah, my daughter said then yesterday, jump all around. So you have more variety to stitch. So you don't have only that green part and the skies in between. But even the tiger that is lying here is stitched in green. So yes, a green tiger. I don't know what is the best thing to do. I still want to reach my stitches, but like here I was so done with the confetti that I just started again here. Really. Some days you're just like, I'm not feeling it, I give up. And I think that happened this week. So I did last week. We have a new week today. We start a new week today. Then the next one up is the one I missed a couple of weeks already. I missed in not stitched yet. Not missed in missed stitching it. It's the one from my oldest son, from Randall Spangler. It's supersized Max Color Cruising the Information Highway, charted by Heaven Earth Designs. It's 999 by 690 stitches with 238 colors. And it's not my favorite one to stitch, but yeah, because it's only background. I do love the photo, but I'm still stitching books. I'm like 2-3 years stitching books now. Where am I stitching? I finished the history book here, so I think I'm here on this page, this part, with the next black label and the brown. Yeah, that's where I am. So my starting photo is here, almost a milestone, not yet. Like I said, it's heavy for me, this one. This is started at 39,350 stitches. Here you can see the history book. So I was correct. I added 500 stitches, the whips for my children. I have a weekly goal of 500 stitches. My husband said to me, maybe it's a good time to just lower your goals a bit. So you do 300 stitches weekly instead of 500. But it's like, I'm used to do 500 stitches and 300 stitches is a weird number. So I try and push to keep going with 500 stitches because they need those stitches because they are so big. And Kingdom, the ones for my children, are legacy whips. So I want to have them finished in my lifetime. And you don't know how much time I have left. So I try to keep up and to keep going. So this is where I am now. This is 500 stitches added, stitched on 25 count even weave 1/1 full cross with roll embroidery floss. And I worked here on this part. So I'm now at 39,850 stitches out of 689,310, and he has 5.78% completed. So yeah, it's getting there slowly, but not the favorite one I like to stitch. And yes, those are big pieces, so they need stitching. Then the next one is for my youngest son. He picked the circus one, Night at the Circus. Supersized Max Color, A Night at the Circus. From Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. It's this one. It's 999 by 760 stitches with 238 colors. And where was I stitching? So this is a mock-up. I had the monkey done, so I really desired to stitch. I really had the desire to stitch that monkey, but when I came to that monkey, I was like, what the confetti hell is this? So yeah, I stitched this second bubble, I think. Wait, let me see. I will show you the starting photo in a bit, but I think I was stitching here. Is it pink? The monkey, 1, 2. Yeah, it's here. In the blue and the second light splash. So my starting photo was here. I started the week with 47,800 stitches. See, the monkey is still here. I don't want to move my fabric yet, so otherwise he's gone. He's hidden. And I want to still see him because he was a lot of work. So yeah, here it is. So as you can see, the second bubble is already here. I worked more in the blue section next to it. Now I'm thinking, I did my 500 stitches. Why it's looking like less? Oh, I forgot. Yes, of course. I stitched here and I stitched there. How can I forget that? I stitched and I don't remember where anymore. So this is stitched on 25 count even weave 1/1 full cross with royal embroidery floss. So like I said, I stitched a bit here and then I started on this blue race, light race. So this is now at 48,310 stitches out of 715,284 and it has 6.75% completed. It really is looking great. You will say now I don't see a lot yet. I know you will see it again later when I have more done to show you the full thing again. So now I'm going to try by pages again. I had a thought to go all over the place to find my other corner. It was like 6,000 or 5,000 stitches. But I don't like it that way. And as joy is the thing of a hobby, I am just sticking with what I'm doing and go by page. So it will take me longer, but it is what it is. And it will be a party when I get there. A big party. And then the next one is for my daughter. Coloring book afternoon. Super size max color. That one is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. It's this one. This is 999 by 740 stitches with 237 colors. And where was I stitching? Bello! If the children are not acting, it's my cats. Milou? Nee. Milou is my black cat. And I call her sometimes a pig because she's always doing the bad stuff. Like Lucifer. Of Lucifer, yeah. So yeah, I was looking where I was stitching. See, I get easily distracted, and then they had to do that. So this is the mock-up, and I'm still stitching in this ball of markers, and I'm working my way down to the first page. So that's here, the edge and the first 3 markers next to it. I'm getting closer to my page finish. Not there yet, obviously not. As you can see, I need a bit more already to get to my page. Belle! Emmylou! So here is where I started. So like I said, 1, 2 and a part of 3 markers. So this is stitched on 28 count even weave 1/1 for cross. Not my favorite fabric at all, but I have to keep going. So this is now how it looks, and I finished this part here, and then I started on the edge of the ball again. So this got 520 stitches, and it's at 42,840 stitches out of 713,286, and it has 6.01%. So it had another milestone because it reached 6%. And the percent on this is a lot. It's like 7,000 stitches. So it takes very long to get to those percentages leveled up. So it's a very, very big milestone for this one. And then now we say that's where all my focus whips. Not really. I have one more. The Sol. Have the Nerd Design Sol 2026. The owl. I was still hoping and thinking I can finish it this year, but it will not be happening. This is a special piece now because I want to have it as remembrance piece in the kitchen for the 2 family members we lost the end of 2025 and the beginning of this year. But it's a lot to stitch. I know. I saw yesterday night a photo from someone who already had 50,000 stitches done, so that's insane. I still need to stitch some other whips too, so this is what I picked for the Sol. You can no longer join anymore on this and this Sol. This is charted by Heaven Earth Designs. The artwork is from L&L Designs, and it's 296 by 300 stitches with 88 colors. And I'm still stitching on the 3 here on that part of the 3. And normally I don't like the green stitching, but it has more the nature stitching, not the nature, the earth color stitching, the earth tones, and that really calms me down. It's really weird. I started the week here. This is stitched on 25 count even weave, again 1/1 full cross. I don't do 10 stitches unless I have to in kits, but if I can skip them, I will skip them. I don't like them. I don't like the look of it, and when I was little and I was learning stitching, my grandmother made me stitch all day half stitches, and I didn't like that. I still have a trauma of it, so I don't like it. Here is where I started it with 2,200 stitches. I added 1,000 stitches. So this is where I am now. I finished the 3rd block, and then I started to stitch again in 2 blocks height, and that works very, very much better for me. So this is now how it looks. It's at 3,200 stitches out of 88,800 and it has 3.60% completed. So yeah, and those, I don't know how to explain it. It's calms me down, this one. It reduces my stress level. I think it's the colors. Like blue is like waking you. I don't know how to describe the colors I feel. Flashy colors are like vibrant, very flashy colors are like, oh, this is, it's beautiful to watch, but it's heavy to stitch. And colors then. Colors, emotions. It doesn't hear the cat. I have two more to show you. Ekka, come Stitch. It was Stitch at the door. I heard it right. So then I had stitched on two whips that are the secondary focus whips, as Anne the Max Color Stitcher would call them. I'm not doing the system she does with how she's doing it. At some days she stitches down stitches on her focus piece, then the other days she is spinning a wheel, and then after the first 500 stitches on that whip she swaps to her secondary focus whip, and until that one reached 2000 stitches, a second whip, it goes out of rotation and the new one comes in. Stitchy, come. He's bumping the stand, eh? Come. Stitch. Stitchy. Yes, I have a cat called Stitch. Stitch, come. Come. And he doesn't want to go. Come here. He's bumping the stand. Stitch, come here. Can I grab you? I have him. Here is Stitch. Isn't he cute? He was the last one we took to the vet with his yeah, what was it? We thought it would be a tumor or something on his lip, but he's all fine, so that's great. He's better. And it was a couple months ago and it didn't return, so it's very, very good. Yes, Stitchy? And then he was so angry with me that I had to give him daily medication, and now he's like, I want to get hugs and I want to get some petting, and he wants attention now, of course. So yeah, next up was Jungle Kitty. She is in, I was saying about Anne the Max Colors, how she picked her rotation. So I'm calling them secondary focus whips, but I have like, well, how many I had? 20 in my list. The issue there is I want to stitch on these whips, but on the same time I want to get a lot of progress on them, and that's not a match because I have too much whips to get more progress on it. So yeah, I don't still know what I will do with it, but my intention now is to do at least a weekly swap between Jungle Kitty and 360 degrees. So last week I did 360 degrees, this week I did Jungle Kitty. This week coming up I would stitch on 360 degrees, so swap them out each week. Those two, why? Because I have a goal of reaching the corner. I will not get to them with only seeing them bi-weekly, but I will get closer. So yeah, that's the reason why I picked those two. Jungle Kitty looks like this. Artwork is from Mikey Bergman, charted by Pink Free Crafts. And this is 400 by 344 stitches with 75 colors. I was stitching. Yeah, first that. And then I will show you the starting photo. I was stitching here on this crowny thing, like tiara. But then the thing was, I want to finish that part, that page, in December 2025. But then I had my burnout, so I was like, I'm not ready to pick that part up again. I want to get to my other corner. So I started again on the top of the next page. So here is my starting point. I started on 20,110 stitches. So like I said, this part was supposed to be finished in December and it didn't get there. So I started again on top to get to my corner at least. So maybe not all the pages, but I want to see that corner this year. It has like 5 pages left. Yeah, 5 pages. So 5 pages multiplied with 3,500 stitches is 17,500 stitches. And with 400 bi-weekly, I do like 200 weekly. Is 10,000 stitches yearly, around 10,800. So then I didn't get that done. So we will see. I'm trying not to stress out about this. We will see how far we get. We are getting closer. That's the most important thing. Wait. So I showed you the starting point. Yeah, and now the update, of course. This is stitched on 25 count even weave 1/1 full cross with DMC floss because it's a kit from Pink Free Crafts. So I started here again, and again in the 2 blocks high instead of 1 block, because with 1 block high I'm feeling constantly threading my needle because I need to put in more floss every time. So with 2 blocks I can stitch a bit more and then take my next color to fill in my blocks. So I added 410 stitches. It's now at 20,520 stitches out of 137,600 stitches, and it has 14.91% completed. So almost 15%. And I love this method of blocks by 4 block stitching more than 1 row. So I'm swapping all my whips to 2 blocks height, and when I have this done I move to the next block of 4. So that's the effect, yeah. But it's also confetti heavy. So yeah, that said, it's a lot of confetti. And it's a beautiful piece, of course. I like it, otherwise I wouldn't stitch it. And then yesterday I had like, what should I stitch on? I made a wheel, but I'm really bad at wheels. I'm thinking, oh, I have my whip list that I want to put on that wheel, and I'm starting editing, and oh, not that whip, but take that one, and then oh, I forgot that whip, so I have to take out another one, and I'm really bad in that. And then my husband said, yeah, spinning a wheel is taking your decision fatigue away, but not on your lists. That's true. Because I keep adding, and then I have like, I keep adding until I have all my whips on that. So that's not a solution. And I want to have progress on them. So I know the 4 whips I had in mind was, in the beginning of the end of the year last year, was 360 Degrees, Jungle Kitty, Blooming Whiskers, and Crafty Cat. Those 4 were certain. And then I was thinking, yeah, but I miss other whips too. How can I add them into the mix? So I just picked 20 whips, put them on the wheel and spin my wheel. Then it landed on whips I hadn't in mind to stitch on. Like supersized moss colors, and my mind wasn't to do that yesterday. So yeah, I was thinking, how would I pick my whips? So then my daughter said, she's like me, you know what you don't want to stitch. Yeah, that's true, because I don't feel it. So we went over to whips, and then I said, oh, maybe that one, or maybe that one. And so I came out with Animal Mix Panorama, because I think the last time I stitched on it was October or November last year. And I was missing it. And I was like, oh yeah, it's a long time I have seen this one, so I want to pick this one out. So yeah, this is, of course, it will turn. Where is that? Yeah. So this is how it will look. This is Animal Mix Panorama. Artwork was from Adrian Chesterman, charged by Pay Free Craft, still available. And it's 900 by 324 stitches. So yeah. Where was I stitching? I had started the right top corner. I found my panda bear, and I'm making my way down to the line caps here. So I was like, yeah, I want to stitch that. So here is my starting photo. Like I said, I have a whole part of the panda bear, and here was a tiny corner of his ear, of the lion cap. So I wanted to see more of that. This is also stitched on 25 count even weave 1/1 full cross with DMC floss, because it's a kit that I bought from Being Free Crafts themselves. So I stitched this part. So I filled in the gaps on that block of his ear. That was here. And then I started to go further across with my 4 block setting. So I added 500 stitches now, and I'm at 17,850 stitches out of 291,600 stitches, and I reached 6.12%. And this is the top. Yeah, this is a full view. So, and I'm thinking I will make the 2 pages down until I'm at the bottom. I'm not going like this because it's a long way to go to the other corner, but to the bottom it will be fine. So yeah, I really love this, and I want to see more of this cutie. So yeah, I was like, now I found what I want to stitch on, but for today I have the same problem. Problem and time to pick whips. With temperature stitching it helps, because the temperature says now take that one, but that's for only 100 or 200 stitches. So now normally I think I have one more start, unless I swap it for leopard cup, but normally I have one more start in the temperature range, and then I don't have 200 stitches anymore. So that said, that's like, okay, you have to do like today again blooming heart, but it's 100 stitches and it goes away. With the lists of 20 whips, it was normally for 500 of 400, 500 stitches. So yes, I know I have pressure on myself late. So it's difficult to say, oh, I pick 2 SSMCs at one day. That's 1,000 stitches on the one SSM, no, 2 SSMCs, and that's not always easy. So yeah, and daily stitching on a whip, like saying do 200 stitches on the owl saw each day, it's not done for me. It's too much. I cannot handle that. So I'm still searching for the right rotation and a wheel. And I also have the feeling of guilt. Like when I make a list for my wheel, I'm thinking, oh, I can take this 20 whips. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, I forgot that one. Oh, I need to work on that one. And then I'm thinking of all the whips I leave behind in the timeout closet. And I'm thinking, oh, what I'm doing. So that's my feelings behind the scene and the wheel. Now, so for plans for this week, the focus whips again. So Kingdom, the children's whips, the Sol, you will see them again next week. Normally, and yeah, temperature stitching, but I'm looking daily at the temperature and not for a full week, because I want to be, no, I would say surprised, but no, daily seeing what I have to do. If I know them up front, it's like I have to do that, it's a must do task, and then I don't want to do it anymore. So I keep it daily as morning routine and pick it up normally before I drive my children to school. But I had only 4 hours of sleep this night, so yeah, I didn't stitch them yet. It was a rough night. Yeah. Then upcoming appointments, a lot. I have Wednesday a whole day at the clinic, at the hospital with my daughter for all the examinations of all the doctors she has to see to start that program to weight loss. So she will see, what was it? Psychologist, dietitian, yeah, all the doctors, I don't know even. And she has also an ultrasound of her liver and her stomach. So I don't know when I will be back home. And we have to leave early. Then we have also parent meeting of my youngest son in the afternoon. Driving all week. I don't know. Friday it's our thinking 6th February, it's our 17th wedding anniversary again. Today is also a sad day because it's the anniversary of losing Streepje last year. Streepje was our cat. Oh, it's so difficult. On Valentine's Day, it's another New Year that we lost Lilo. It's hard times. They are still missed, even they are gone. And Stitch. Lilo came with Stitch to our home, as it was supposed to be Lilo and Stitch. But yeah, Stitch left over. We had Lilo only for 3 months. He had a complication on his heart. So yeah. Oh yeah, the house announcements, call it like that. The giveaway of January is done for the event in my Facebook group, Siske Stitches. Liz X Stitches won. So the meaning was to post a cake photo and then 500 stitches per cake. So then I did a random number generator and Liz won. And she got her chart already. It was bedtime stories from Chris Doon from Pain Free Crafts. So that was already round off. Done. I had some donations from Kofi members, so thank you for still being there as a subscriber too, as a membership. It's really appreciated to get help, to get everyone every month a giveaway chart out, because yes, my husband has 3 jobs now, but he has them for a reason. It's because we need the money to pay the bills. And then in December he had some weeks off, so we are behind in money, I would say. So yeah, it helps. Yeah, it's still he works now more even hours to get the gap back that we lost in December. But it's a lot of money, so yeah, it's not easy to just get that money back. It's not his fault, it's not my fault. Normally he would have his second job in the 2 weeks he was off from his first job, but then they decide, oh, we don't need you because we have already a lot of working people here, co-workers here. And then after New Year, the other supermarket said, oh, we could have used you. Yeah, there was no communication, so we lost 2 weeks of money for nothing. So yeah, you could say you had time together. Yes, but yeah, the other side of the medal was not the nicest one. So that said, oh yeah, so thank you again for the Kofi donation. It's very, very appreciated. They're welcome and helpful with the giveaways chart that I do every month. Even it's difficult now for us. For the month February, the puzzle event is back in the Facebook group Siske Stitches. So if you don't remember what it was about, so normally it was 1000 stitches for one piece, and we did 224 pieces, I think it was a weird number, or 225. But then the feedback was, yeah, but the giveaway event, like from January and December, was easier because it was 500 stitches and so on and so on. So I did some edits on the event. Now it's 400 pieces to make the puzzle, but each piece is 500 stitches and only one member can stitch on it. So that's the new version. And no photos adding, so it's just taking your start photo of your whip with the handwritten password on a paper on it, and then the ending photo after how many stitches you did. It can be 100 stitches, it can be 500 stitches, you can use as many whips as you want. They just all have to have the password on each start photo. So I hope we can manage the puzzle and finish it by the end of the month. So that's our goal as group. The other events are still going. The weekly acrostic, the yearly is still on. Even it says in the events it's closed, but it's still going on. What do we have more? The weekly lessons and legends are still going on. There was another thing I was thinking I could do for myself, but I have more than 8 whips in my list there in my wheel, so then I need to make an adaptation of it, and yeah, I don't know yet. So that was that. I have more weekly. Oh yeah, Glamorous 3 is still going on. It's posted. I tried to post all the things on Friday to be on time. so it can start when it's normally Saturday or Sunday, something starts. So I try to post everything on Friday so it can keep going, and people don't have to ask me what is the new numbers for Glamorous Tree and that on and all of that, because sometimes I forget. And if I'm having the habit to post it each Friday, it's a routine and I will not forget it. So that's in my mind. Yeah, then I think that was all for notes. Yeah, I think so. I will link the Kofi link again down if you want to help a bit with the giveaways. The new giveaway event is up. So the next one normally will be sent beginning of March. The 1st of March normally. So yeah, the price is a charge from Pain Free Crafts. Oh yeah, and from Pain Free Crafts spoken, Sarah amazed me again. If you remember, no you will not probably, I had pizza pups found on an illegal site. And I wanted it first, I thought it was just a stamped kit. But then I found out with a Google image search, it was artwork from Bridget Ashwood. So I was so sad I couldn't buy that one because 1, it was ripped off. 2, it was illegal on that site. So I was like so sad. And I really wanted that short. So I reached out to Sarah in November, I think. Yeah. If she could chart that image, if she had it in her files to chart it. And she said, yes, I have it. It's coming, but I don't know when. So Crafty Cat took 1 year. So I was thinking, oh yeah, it will take another year. And then suddenly I was almost choked because I was scrolling and eating something, and then I saw a clip of it on Instagram, and I thought like, oh, she did it. I was so surprised. I was like, no, it can be happening. No, it can be happening. And she did. So it was earlier than I had expected. So this is Pizza Pups. Artwork from Bridget Ashwood. And look at this little... Huh, he will not be shown. Yeah. Look at this. It's here. Little Yorkshire here. I have 2 Yorkshires. Yeah. I mean, we're just realizing they're upstairs. So, yeah, they are so cute. So cute. And my daughter is now each day since it was released asking me when I will start it. So you see the theme already again. New starts. And I said this year I would have less new starts. But yeah. So I bought that one. And then I also bought Woodland Creatures from Adrian Chesterman. That's also charted by Pain Free Crafts. It's looking like a magical forest. And it has some creatures you wouldn't stitch normally in other scenes, like this badger and yeah, the ducks. It's really nice. Was there more that I had bought? Nothing really. Yeah, one for my husband. There is a new kit coming from... released by Luca S. It's one with 3 wolves and a blue sky and a moon. But the kit was very, very expensive. And then I did a Google image search and I came out with this one. From Charting Creations. This looks like it, but it's close up. So the one from Luca S has more background And these wolves are very close up shown. So there is still the moon, there's still the background, but less, and a nice close up of the wolves. So this is called Winter Moonrise, and it's artwork from Abraham Hunter. This is 475 by 357, and it has 78 colors. So the mock-up. Oh, what I'm doing. View mock-up. Yeah. So this is the mock-up. Look how beautiful it is. My husband loves all the orcas and the wolf stuff. So the magic needle lady with her wolf is also for him. I love her too. She's a beauty. But then another thing I wanted to ask you before I let you go. In my Facebook group, I asked, what's this? Another issue. Where is my Facebook group? Here. I asked if people know full coverage charts of a bunny. Slow Stitch Yogi is stitching one of an illegal site, and yeah, I don't like that idea. It's a bunny in it's kind of bakery shop, cake shop, and I'm searching for something like that, but I cannot find it. So Crest Dune has a rabbit like Peter Rabbit, but they are doing other stuff and they are not in a cake bakery environment. So the other one I liked was this one from Ava Stitch, but it's also an expensive kit and it has a lot of back stitches. So I'm searching for a chart with, there is Paisley the Rabbit in the library from Crest Dune. I have that one, but it's like a background with only books. I don't know. It's weird. So I'm searching for a pattern and I don't know how it looks. I know now I'm sounding weird, but it has to be a bunny in it, like the one like that Yogi is stitching. Can I show it to you what she is stitching? I'm not advertising for that one because it's a rip-off. I'm searching for something else. But then you know what I'm searching for. Ale, where is it? Where is it? What's happening here? Is it because I just didn't rotate? Yeah. Is there a photo of that rabbit? Like, I love this one too. This is from Yogi Group. But it's still not me. This one. And it's from a Painting Fairies website. So it's also illegal. It's a Chinese one. Is the rabbit here from Yogi? I think so, but I need to search for it. She calls it the candy thing. Yeah. This one is found, and it was a rip-off from Susan Wheeler. It's this one. So this is illegally where Yogi bought it. This is cute. So I'm searching something like this style. Vintage rabbit thing. Someone messaged me. Yeah, not really that. Like no Easter bunny or Christmas bunny. I really want like this style. More vintage style. Illegal charted. So yeah, that's the thing. If you know something from a rabbit that looks like this, that's not a rip-off, that's not illegal. That's like charted by a full coverage company like the Kofi Studio. Yeah, Pay Free Crafts of course doesn't have it, otherwise I would know. Allez, Artisy, that kind of charting company, please let me know. So, yeah. Was there something more I had to talk about? Yeah, and the stats for January. You can find them on my Instagram. So for January, I didn't have any finishes. I did monthly stitches, 12,830. Normally I stitch around 22,000, so it was a low stitch count for me, but seeing the circumstances, yeah, I think that's normal. I had 5 new starts, I had 1 page finish, I worked on 18 projects, and I had 24 stitching days. So that was a... Yep. So that's what I want to stop this video. And what's next Monday? Before I tell you lies. That's not a lie. The 9th of February. Yeah, normally next week is on Monday again, the next video. Because the week after I'm at the hospital. So, with my daughter again. On Monday. So yeah, so normally this week, next week Monday, I will be here again for the next update video. And then the 16th of December, probably not. It will depend on when we are home. Then. So now I will let you go, and I hope to see you again next week. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked the video. Subscribe, and if you have a question or you want to leave a comment, you can always in the comment section. If you can reach me on Instagram or Facebook to send me a personal message, and I will always answer them. So have a nice stitching week, have a nice day, stay safe and healthy and warm if you're still in the snowstorms, and I see you again next week. Bye bye.